postseason. Here's head coach Steve Kerr.
To beat Boston if they're making 20, getting, a combined 11 from, Horford and White. Those guys, give them credit. They knocked down every big shot in the fourth quarter. Boston was just played a brilliant quarter, and they came in and earned the win.
Logan on the right.
Hey, Steve, you played Andre, obviously, today, big minutes. And what did you think of his performance out there? And what does he bring to your team that you didn't have?
Well, we played him 12 minutes, so I wouldn't call that big minutes. But Andre was great. He's got finals experience. He gets us settled down. He's a great defender. So I thought Andre did a really good job out there.
Tim up front.
Yeah, they jump out to the 7-0 third quarter start without Steph. You get Steph back in, you're still up, and it almost went even faster. Did you sense a loss of composure, loss of focus? What do you think happened just in those moments?
I thought we had a couple turnovers, a couple bad possessions offensively, and they just pounced. They took advantage of every opportunity. They moved the ball well, and like I said, you make 5-6 threes in a row in the fourth quarter. Then that's tough to overcome. So, we'll watch the tape and learn from it and see what we can do better. My gut reaction, just what I just witnessed, was they just came in, played a hell of a fourth quarter, and you got to give them credit. And it's pretty much as simple as that.
Anthony on the left.
Yeah, how challenging did you find it at times offensively to score against them? And I know going in, you knew how good they were defensively, but what just specifically made it tough tonight?
Well, they've got good size and athleticism, at every position pretty much. So they put a lot of pressure on you, but I thought we had some really good moments. We had 38 in the third quarter. We had a good run there. It was mainly the fourth quarter that got us. So we feel confident with our ability to score against them. But like I said, you give up 40 in the fourth and the other team makes 21 threes. It's going to be tough to win.
Question in the middle here.
Hey, Steve, I want to ask you about the shot disparaging, the shot spread out among the team. Specifically, Jordan Poole only had 7 shots. Do you think you need to do more to get him some open looks, or do you think it's upon him to just be more aggressive?
Yeah, we'll watch the tape and we'll see, what we need to do. I thought Boston did a good job on Jordan, put a lot of pressure on him, and there's probably some things that we can do to help free him up. And then, he's a hell of a player, so he'll bounce back and play better too.
Up front.
Vince Goodwill, Yahoo Sports, right here, Steve. You held Tatum largely in check. I think he was 3 of 17. Was that basically the game plan going in, that you're going to concede Derek White, Al Horford taking those shots, and they just happened to hit him tonight?
Well, you never go in conceding shots. You kind of have a scouting report on each player. You know who you're going to close out hot to, who you're going to close out short to, all that stuff. It felt to me like we didn't close out very well in the first half, and that allowed them to get going a little bit. But again, got to watch the tape and see where the breakdowns occurred.
Barry in the middle.
Hey, Steve. Barry Bloom from Sportico. It's not just your team, but why do you think that there's been such wild disparities of play, not only from game to game in these playoffs, but from quarter to quarter?
I think the three-point shot has a lot to do with that. I mean, you saw, I don't know how many they made in the fourth. Somebody in here probably knows they make 7 or 8 threes in the fourth quarter. 9. So, that's, I think it has everything to do with the three-point shot. It's, you didn't see these kind of swings even a decade ago because you didn't have teams that could make threes from every position, and, teams that, could string together a number of threes like most teams can these days. So I think that's probably the answer.
Question on the left.
Steve, I'm Young with ESPN. We were talking pregame about how you guys aren't in this position very often, losing game one. How would you describe what the team is feeling right now?
Well, obviously, everybody's down. You want to go out and win the first one, and we had every opportunity. 12-point lead going into the fourth, so guys are bummed, as you would expect. But it's a 7-game series for a reason. I think, you give Boston credit. They came in there and earned the win. Played a great fourth quarter. We'll come in, watch the film tomorrow, and see where we can get better. And it's one game, so you move on to the next one.
Howard, back right.
Howard Beck, Sports Illustrated. Steve, just picking up on Ohm's question, the record in game ones prior to this meant you guys were always in control early. How does it change things, do you think, whether it's game plan, attitude, mentality, whatever, playing from behind in a series like this in a way that you haven't before?
Well, it's different for sure. I mean, when you win game one at home, there's a sense of comfort, and you kind of have a feel for your opponent at that point and make your adjustments, and so it's a different feeling. Obviously, you go into game two with more of a sense of desperation, but that's all part of this stuff. We've been in this position before, and we've won series where we've lost the first game. We've won a road game, at least one road game, and I don't know how many consecutive series. So you always kind of assume you're going to have to win on the road to win a playoff series. So it's a different feeling, but it's still first 1 to 4.
On the left.
Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area. Steve, you guys won the third quarter by 14. What are the things you want to take from that quarter? Obviously, you couldn't take into the fourth tonight, but what are the things you want to take from that quarter and move into the future games?
Yeah, I thought the third was great for us. We moved the ball. We got offensive rebounds. We shared it. We got some really good looks against their defense. Because we were the aggressor, we kind of tied the game together. Good defense led to good offense, and vice versa. And then in the fourth, that flipped. I thought we had some poor offensive possessions, and that led to some transition hoops for them, and that changed the game.
Any final questions for Coach Kerr?
All right, so there it is in numerical form. Wow. Warriors, reasonable game. Steph Curry went nuts in the first quarter. The Warriors do what they always do seemingly in the third quarter, which is win by a lot. And they seem to be in control. Remember, they had been the best fourth quarter team in the postseason so far. And then things went completely sideways for them with Boston dropping threes left and right. They hit their first 8 threes of that fourth quarter. Let's go outside to Dennis Scott, who is overlooking Thrive City outside Chase Center, where folks have got to be a little bit stunned. And 3D, I don't know if you're as shocked as we are by what we just saw in the final 12 minutes of this game one.
Well, Matt, I'm a little bit surprised because what we've seen the Warriors do over the last, 5 years before the 2 years of all the injuries. But when we say that, I'm not surprised because we've seen what the Celtics have done throughout this whole playoffs. So you give Ime Udoka a lot of credit with the defensive focus in that fourth quarter, the way they were switching with purpose. Derek White just all over Steph Curry. No extra shots for the Warriors in the fourth quarter. So their defense was stellar down the stretch. And I think Grant and Smitty were talking about it. When was Jason Tatum going to do something? 3 of 17 from the floor, but Brown, White, and, of course, the savvy veteran Al Horford just stepped up. It was huge in that fourth quarter, guys.
Yeah, listen, he played great. People are shocked. People are stunned. I said that if they shot in the low 40s, they wouldn't have a chance. Listen, they came and played. I question defense sometimes. If Jason Tatum is 3 for 17, why do you double him? Because a lot of the threes were uncontested. I sat and watched Al Horford shoot out here with no contested, nobody rotating in his face. You can't give a guy like that shot. I was concerned when, Golden State went on those leads, but they could never put the young team away. And, Matt, let me tell you, we all can tell you, it's nothing worse than playing against a young, hungry guy that wants your spot and he's not scared of you. These Boston Celtics, they really want to be champions.
Guys, offenses are designed now to generate good three-point looks. So in some ways, this was just great shooting by the Celtics. But defensively, where did this get away from the Warriors?
Well, first of all, Shaq said it best. I mean, all these shots, great shots, difficult shots, fourth quarter, game one, but a lot of them, they were wide open. So the ball movement, the awareness, finding open shooters, and having the confidence to step up and knock them down. But you're right, Tatum was struggling. A lot of it Jason Tatum double team